Hey everyone, before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Stories like this deserve to be shared. I remember that night in the smallest, yet somehow most suffocating apartment I'd ever lived in. The kitchen smelled faintly of roasted garlic and old wine, candles flickering in uneven corners, shadows stretching across the walls. My wife, Laura, sat at the table scrolling through her phone, the soft blue light dancing across her cheekbones. I had spent the afternoon wrapping her gift, a delicate leather bracelet, simple but elegant, something I thought she'd like, something personal. I slid across the table toward her, trying to ignore the sudden lump forming in my throat. Her eyes flicked up for a moment, enough to meet mine, and then she smirked, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Don't get jealous," she said casually, almost teasingly, and there it was, the tiny dagger doubt I'd been ignoring for months. "You might regret it." Her words felt like ice down my spine. I wanted to laugh, wanted to brush it off as a joke, but something in the way she said it made my stomach twist. The apartment's silence stretched. The faint hum of the refrigerator and the soft ticking of the wall clock became deafening. I noticed the tiny dents on the table, marks from past arguments, and suddenly all the small annoyances I had ignored came back to me. The late-night text she never explained, the secretive smile when the phone buzzed, the perfume lingering in corners of the room that wasn't mine. I tried to speak, to find the warmth in her eyes that had drawn me in years ago, but the words caught in my throat. I wanted to ask who she was texting, where she had really been yesterday, but I didn't. Not yet. Instead, I sat there, watching her scroll, feeling an unfamiliar distance stretch between us. The bracelet lay in front of her, shiny and meaningless now, a symbol of the growing chasm I couldn't quite cross. Then my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "I can't wait to see you tonight. It's going to be just us." My hand shook as I stared at the screen. I knew, deep down, that everything I thought I understood about us, about love, about trust, was about to shatter. I took a shaky breath and looked back at her. "Laura, what is this?" I whispered, my voice cracking. She didn't answer. Instead, she smiled that same smirk and glanced down at her phone. The rest of dinner passed in a blur. I'd barely tasted my food, the flavor of roasted garlic, and wine drowned out by the cold weight pressing on my chest. Laura laughed at something on her phone. A laugh I didn't recognize, a sound that felt foreign in our apartment. I watched her fingers dance across the screen, my stomach twisting with every subtle notification ping. I want to confront her, to demand the truth, but I felt trapped by the same fear I'd buried for months. Fear of what I might find. Fear of losing the life I had built. Fear of admitting that the woman I loved could betray me so completely. My mind raced. Texts I had overlooked, odd excuses, late-night disappearances. They all fell into place now, sharp and unforgiving, forming a pattern I could no longer ignore. Finally, unable to bear it, I reached for her phone. Her hand shot up instinctively, stopping mine. Our eyes locked, and in that second, I saw it. The panic, the fleeting hesitation, the lie dangling in her gaze. "Let me see it," I said, my voice low, controlled, though my heart pounded like a drum in my chest. Laura hesitated, then laughed lightly, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You wouldn't understand," she said. "It's nothing." But it was something. I felt it. I knew it. Her phone buzzed again, and this time I saw the name flashing on the screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight, beautiful." My chest tightened so sharply I thought I might collapse. There was the proof I had been trying to deny. My mind replayed the small signs I had ignored, the subtle shifts in her tone, the distant look in her eyes. Everything pointed to the same devastating truth. I wanted to scream, to throw the bracelet across the room, to demand an explanation, but I couldn't. Instead, I froze, watching her scroll and smile, feeling the life drain from the room. Betrayal wasn't something that could be explained away. It was in her body language, in her laugh, in the text that glowed coldly in my hand. I whispered, almost to myself, "How long has this been going on?" Laura's smirk softened, a dangerous calm settling over her features. "Long enough that you wouldn't catch me if you tried," she said, her words slicing through me like a blade. "You're so predictable, Always try to control everything. This is just life happening. I swallowed hard. Life happening or life ending piece by piece? My fingers shook as I set the phone down. The bracelet seemed heavier now, a mocking reminder of everything I had given her, everything she had taken. And in that silence, one terrifying realization hit me. I wasn't ready for what was coming next, and I had no idea how deep this betrayal went. The night stretched on heavy and suffocating. I couldn't eat, couldn't speak, couldn't breathe properly. Laura leaned back in her chair, calm as if nothing had happened, as if the betrayal I had just discovered was trivial, like a conversation about the weather. My mind raced with every memory, every tender moment I thought we shared, now tainted, corrupted by her secret. Finally, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I stood, my chair scraping against the floor, and pointed the phone. "Who is he, Laura? Tell me now." My voice shook, but I forced myself to stay upright, to demand the truth. She sighed, leaning back, her eyes sharp, almost amused. "It's not just one person," she admitted, voice cold, measured. "It's been months. You wouldn't notice because you've been you." She let the word hang between us, dripping with disdain. "You've been predictable, safe, boring." I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. My hands clenched into fists at my sides. Months? Months of lies? Of sneaking around while we thought we were together? She shrugged lightly, a casual movement that shattered what little composure I had left. "People change," she said. "Life moves. You stayed the same." Every part of me ached. Every moment of love, of trust, now poisoned. The apartment felt smaller, walls closing in, the candles flickering in judgment. I realized in that nothing I said or did could repair this, that the woman I had loved so deeply was gone, replaced by someone I no longer recognized. I took a deep breath, and in that moment of clarity, I did something I never thought I could. I walked to the table, picked up the bracelet I had bought her, and placed it in the middle of the room. "Take this," I said quietly but with finality. "It's yours along with everything you've taken from me." She looked at me, surprised, but said nothing. Her silence was louder than any apology, louder than any excuse. I turned toward the door, my heart breaking, but my mind clear. Betrayal had carved a wound, but I realized I could still choose my path. I didn't have to stay in the ruins she left behind. As I walked out, I whispered to myself, the night air sharp against my face. Some love isn't meant to last. Some trust isn't meant to be kept. And some endings are just the beginning of saving yourself. If this story hit you like it hit me, comment below your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe. Love, heartbreak, betrayal, it's human and it's worth sharing.